this episode, I want to talk about, of all things, tarot. So I have right here, well, it's 3 decks. I have 3 decks of cards here. These 2 cards are the same. Well, I probably didn't need to, but keep these in the box. And I'll tell you why. So, I've been doing tarot for a few years, a number of years, probably over 6 years, on and off. I originally got into tarot through a coworker at a previous job I had. She was a witch, a Wiccan, and she taught me a lot. Just got me started, jump-started my foray into being Wiccan, and it was the birthplace of me as a wizard. So that's where it all began. And this person also introduced me to the tarot. Now, I knew about tarot cards prior, but I never really even looked at a deck, let alone do a reading or even have a reading done on me. It was just one of those things. I knew what it was, and I didn't dislike it nor like it. It just was. So I let it be until it was introduced to me, and I was introduced to tarot, by this mentor of mine. And I look to her as a mentor, because she got this journey started for me. So anyways, that's how I got introduced to tarot, and I've done it on and off for about 6 years. Probably maybe even more. I'll have to really figure it out, but at least a long time. And this set is the cards that someone gave me, and it was the first set of cards that I've used. I think that's Ellen Gannon Reed, illustrated by Martin Gannon. I don't know what type of... I'm guessing it's Rider-Waite, but I don't know, to be honest. I honestly don't know. But I'll show you a few. Let's see which ones I want to show you. Let's start with... This is the 4 of Cups. I kind of see a group of people welcoming in an outsider. So I get this welcoming vibe from this card. That's how I'd read it. You see the ladies there, and there's 3 on one side, 1 on the other, and just the cool tones of the card. It's a nice card. So I'll put this down. I want to move this along because I want to get to this deck. The Chariot, that always gives me this traveling type of vibe here. And that's the Chariot. Okay. All right, let's just move on to the Death card. That's the Death card. Yeah, very interesting card. So that's where I started. Now, I didn't show you the back of these. Sorry about that. So it's pretty traditional pagan star on the back there. Pretty plain, very elegant. They are a very elegant looking card, which is why I hang on to them. I don't really do much reading with them. Maybe I should break them out and just kind of try them. So, I'm going to move on to the next deck, because this is my go-to deck. And I have 3 of these decks. Actually, Matthew just got me this not too long ago. because this deck is hard to find. I don't know where he got it. It kind of scares me because I looked online for this deck and saw it going for as much as $500. And it is, of course, the Wizards Tarot. Is that there? The Wizards Tarot. So I keep this in the box. I want them to stay pristine. And this is my reading deck. So this is what the back looks like. See that? It's really pretty. And it's almost celestial. With the stars in there and stuff like that. It's just really, 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 really beautiful. So now to the important part of cards, at least for me, is the imagery on the front. Now I'm curious, are any of you out there watching this familiar with the Wizards Tarot? I know that one thing about this deck is some cards are swapped out. Like there's, I believe in place of the Devil card in some decks, this one has a Dark Lord. You know, some subtle changes. So let's get on. Let's show off some of these. I'm gonna go right here. We're gonna start with the Magician card. So that it's gorgeous. You see the Magician there. Just a beautiful card, and these cards speak to me so well. You know, I see, come on buddy. You know, I see a very triumphant, celebratory card. It's kind of what I get from this card, but it all depends on the context of the other cards around it when I'm doing a reading, because that's how I read the cards. I don't go by the booklet definitions of the cards. I go by what the image is. You know, think about a Celtic spread. It's almost like reading hieroglyphics on the wall. That's how I look at these cards. It's how I've learned to do tarot. So this card here, it's only the Eight of Cups card, but I love when you take your first look at this card, and this is how I read, is boom, as soon as that image is in my eyes, that very first thought that hits your brain, that's that feeling, that emotion that the image invokes. That's the basis of my reading. So this here, Eight of Cups. So that invokes a real strong emotion in me. You know, the imagery on these cards, that's where their strength is. That is what I really love about these cards. So we're gonna go on to the Hierophant. Again, I get a very fatherly, mentorly vibe from this card. The help is on the way type of vibe from this here card, right? That's the Hierophant. Now I don't even know at this point what the manual would say the Hierophant, but that's my interpretation of it. Then we all know the Tower. Now this card, look at that Tower card. I mean, that's not gorgeous. Now this card has a double meaning to me. Now if you look at that card, you can see turmoil and chaos. And now, depending on the context of the cards around it, it could mean the literal tower that is withstanding the storm, you know? So you can get that double meaning from this card that I get sometimes, you know? And a lot of the cards in this deck are like that. The last card I'm going to show you is the Dark Lord card. Now, I believe this is in place of the Devil card. Tell me what you think of some of these cards in this deck. leave some comments down below what you think. This here is the Dark Lord card. It's definitely a strong emotion it invokes. And again, depending on the context of what's around this card, it's a double, you can have multiple meanings. It could mean simply by the image, but I see, a man in control, but he's, he's got a sinister vibe to him. Definitely. Most definitely. So that's my go-to deck, the Wizards Tarot. Before I ask you all to like and subscribe and all that good stuff that we do here, I don't usually do 3-card spreads. My go-to is the full-on Celtic. And I completely suck at shuffling. It's absolutely terrible. It's probably why I don't charge money for my readings. There are people that told me that I've done readings for that would pay. And that's Matt beeping the horn. So let me throw 3 cards down and let's see what happens to Matt when he comes in. In his past, I see someone gathering, getting stuff together. Right now, I see that he's beeping, interrupting my video, so I'm going to have to get stern with him. In the end, I see him. He's the boss. Because I love him so much, he's going to get away with it. So guys, anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this, my tarot. I want to delve into this a little more with you guys. All right? Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.